Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Angel and I teach things that moms can do from home. Nope. Good morning, friends. Nope, 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 nope. Are you listening to me? Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Angel. If you are here, that is because you might want to learn a little bit about making an income from home. Pull up a chair, mama. Today we're talking about what a real week looks like as a homeschool mom who also works from home. No gatekeeping, no perfection, no color-coded fantasies, just real life with kids, a home to run, and a business that is actually helping me pay the grocery bill. It's not glamorous, it's not aesthetic Pinterest homeschool, but it works. And I'm going to break down exactly how our week runs, the routines, the flexibility, the chaos, all in between, the wins, and how I run an online business during all of this. By the end, you'll walk away with a version you can copy and paste into your own home. So let's dive in. Starting right out of the gate, I want to give you guys just a quick rundown of what our week looks like or our rhythm. And usually Mondays are a heavy homeschool day with light work for me. Tuesdays are all of our core subjects. I do some errands and then a bit of admin work at the end. Wednesdays are still pretty heavy on homeschooling. It's a heavier day for me because the kids have extracurriculars and I usually sit in front of their boxing gym where I can see them through the window and I edit videos. And this usually is my 2-hour window to get some of my editing done or even this voiceover that you're listening to now. Thursday is another normal homeschooling day. It's pretty heavy with all of our subjects. I do, however, switch off every other day our science and our history. So, for instance, Monday we will do science, but Tuesday we will do history, and then Wednesday science and Thursday history, and so on like that. And then we come to Friday. Friday is a very light homeschool day. I usually allow the kids to play some type of English or language arts game and then a math game. We do puzzles, we do Mad Libs, things like that that are a little bit more fun and relaxing and we don't feel like we're doing school. This also allows me to catch up. This lets me clean, do some laundry, and maybe reset the house a little bit so that our weekend is nice and calm and cool. Our weekends are our family time, and if I'm feeling a little sassy, I will throw in some work in there, but I usually try to keep our weekends for family time because I find that to be so valuable. Look, there's so many people out there replicating public school, and that's just not what I'm trying to do. I brought my kids home because I did not want to do or replicate public school. I'm not trying to fill 6 hours. I'm teaching my kids what they need. Then I'm using the rest of my day to be a present mom and build an income for my family. This is the part most people don't talk about. You can homeschool and make money from home. You don't have to choose struggle life or corporate America. For the longest time, everybody has always been afraid of having to do both. You don't have to like give one up for the other. And this is what I'm learning now. I waited for so long to jump into this and put my all into it. And I was so scared that I would not make it and I would fail that I held myself back. And I just want to let you know, it's okay. You can do both. You don't have to just do one of them. If you are struggling with finances, do something about it. Get in there and make it happen. So let's talk about a realistic day. Let me walk you through a realistic day because people always ask, When do I actually work? Well, my youngest usually takes a shower at night, and then my two older boys take a shower in the mornings. So my 11-year-old and my 17-year-old get up in the morning and take a shower. My 11-year-old usually gets up around almost 8 o'clock. It's usually like somewhere around 7:50. And so my daughter usually wakes up around the same time just to get up and start getting ready. Our mornings, between 8:30 and 12 is when we're getting up, getting breakfast done, starting our morning routine. We jump right into our daily tasks. First on the list, always, 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 is World Watch. And if you've never heard of World Watch, go ahead and look into it. There is a link in my description below, and it will give me a free month if you start up today. No need to be pressured to do that. I just think that World Watch is a great news outlet for kids. It is Christian based, but they give you little nuggets of the news every day in like a 10-minute span, and sometimes they even add little fun games or science questions, and my kids really find it informative. It sparks a lot of good conversations with us, and so that's where I like to spend our first 10 minutes together, just sitting on the couch, watching World Watch and enjoying the entertainment for the moment. Then shortly after that, we go into our Bible study, and then I always try to start with our group subjects first, because once those are out of the way, the kids can go off and they can sit wherever they would like and do their work. So that usually contains either our read alouds or our history or science in the morning. And then they jump into math or language arts, depending on what they feel that day. I allow them to choose because I don't want them to fight with having to learn that day. And if math is working better for them that morning, then math is working better for them that morning. If language arts is where their brain is in that morning and they would rather start with their reading and their spelling and stuff like that, then that is totally fine with me. And then after that, I go around and I make sure that if they need any help, if there's any extra things that they need from me, I am there and I am available. At this time, I do not try to get on my phone. I try not to do anything that is distracting from their schoolwork. And that is so that I can be available for them for any questions and they feel like I'm available to them. If I'm on my phone or I'm on my computer, then they feel like I'm working or I'm doing something that is more important than what they are doing. And so I always try to make them feel that they can always come to me during that time. After that, after our rest and independent reading, math, our online lessons, and project works, we usually finish up about lunchtime, and we end up having lunch. Sometimes I make lunch, sometimes the kids make their own lunches. Um, it just depends on the day. I don't really have a strict routine for this. Although next year, that is something I'm definitely going to look into. We are going to start a nutrition and workout routine, and I think that's going to be a part of our morning routine. We'll get our workout in, we will get our breakfast in, and make sure that we are having a healthy meal to start the day. Um, so anyways, back to lunch. We end up having lunch. We reset the house. We end up putting away dishes, putting dishes in the dishwasher if things need to be put away, and just kind of making sure things are back in order before I allow them to have free time outside or reading or whatever the activity that they are interested in the moment. I do allow my kids to have screen time. I am not concerned with it rotting their brain as long as we are listening and watching things that are productive. I don't mind them listening. A lot of the times they have great questions, and I want to be there to be able to answer them or have the conversation with them or find what intrigues them, or because sometimes that also helps me with next year's lessons. Like, where are our lessons going to go? What is my son going to be interested in next year that will keep him actively learning? And the same thing with my daughter. And usually she is my artsy one and she wants to paint and make a mess. And that's okay too, because that is her free time and that's what relaxes her. And she is still learning in that process. My afternoon work block is usually between 1 and 3:30. Um, this is where I work. I try to minimize it to 2 hours. I will set a timer and somehow it ends up being enough. When I set a timer and I'm racing against that clock, I think that is when I am most productive. If I were to let it just sit and not start a timer, I think that I would mosey around and get distracted and not do what I'm supposed to do. But so, how is this enough? Well, I batch content, answer messages, I work on passive income, and I'm building something that doesn't depend on me being tired or tied to clocking in. And the reason I do this is so that even when I'm homeschooling or I'm doing the dishes, my business is working for me. And I didn't know how to do this until I got selling with confidence. This is when I was able to put systems in place that helped me make my business run in the background. Is it perfect? No. Are there days when I get absolutely nothing done? Absolutely. But consistency has beat perfection. And before I was so inconsistent and just tried to run with it and try to figure it out on my own. And when I became consistent, that's when things started moving quickly. So after that time block between 1 and 3:30, usually my oldest son is home by then and he either is getting ready for work or he has other activities that he is doing. And I began to look at what dinner is if I hadn't already put it in the crock pot in the morning, because your girl loves a crock pot meal. It is one of the easiest things that a homeschool mom can do is start that in the morning. And it's not just homeschool moms, I mean moms period, let's be honest, right? So yeah, between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m., this is when we are either doing dinner, evening activities, family time, and we are chilling. This is one of the things that I wanted to do was be able to have a slower life, and that is one of the reasons why I decided to homeschool. My oldest, he is a senior. He drives himself to and from school, and even his schedule is not a rigorous schedule. He has done very well that he has some days where he is off at 11:20, and there's some days that he has a 2-hour block off in the middle of his school day. So I feel like this is slow enough for us that it feels nice. And again, that is why I chose to homeschool, is so that we weren't running from school to school and activity to activity. I wanted us to live a more calm and relaxed life. And this has been truly a blessing. No complicated Pinterest boards, no homeschool aesthetic, just systems that keep us moving. The mom life part. This is where I keep it real. Some days my house looks like a tornado touched everything except for the ceiling fan, and let's be honest, that's probably got dust too. Um, and I just realized that my son's clothes are not completely dry. I had him bring them up to me and they're not dry. So I'm gonna go and put those back inside the dryer to continue to dry. Some days homeschool is done in 90 minutes. And some days we're doing math at 5 p.m. because somebody was not having it that day. And some days I'm running on reheated coffee. And that's okay, because sometimes I feel like whining about it. And some days I question everything that I'm doing, and it's normal. That is normal to do. I used to think I had to choose. I used to think we had to struggle on one income so that I could homeschool, or I would have to sacrifice homeschooling to afford groceries. And guess what? I didn't. I built an online business that fits in the cracks of my day and it supports us. This is what people are always curious about. How do you get work done with kids at home? Here's the truth. I multitask and I time block. My exact system is that I put a 2 to 3 hour day max, like that is my max for the day to work. And I set an alarm. I have a dedicated quiet work block. And this time might not work for you because you have younger kids and you might have to wait for your husband to get home or something like that. I have definitely done this in the rut of 7 kids and done it with kids and chaos around. It is doable. But by giving myself an exact max on how many hours I'm going to work per day, 2 to 3 hours per day, when I set an alarm, I have a dedicated quiet work block, and I do the same thing every day of the week. I batch content on Wednesdays, I sell digital offers and passive income streams. I make sure that the things that I'm selling, I am truly in love with because it is easier to sell something that you truly love than it is to try to sell something that you don't. If you are constantly using something every day, say for instance, I know that a lot of people like the scrub daddies, right? Those are great. If you love those, it'll be easier to sell that because the love that you have for that product is going to show in your videos. It's going to show in your content. It is going to show up when you are talking about it to somebody. So this is so important. Like this is the most thing if I had to tell anybody anything about a business, it would be treat it like a business and not a side hustle. For so long, I treated digital marketing like a side hustle, and side hustles don't pay bills. Side hustles burn you out. Businesses pay bills, okay? So, how can you do this too? Well, if you're watching this thinking you need a flexible way to earn from home while homeschooling, it's not only possible, it's scalable. You just need 3 things: a simple offer, a weekly schedule, and a system that runs even on the crazy days. And I teach that exact system I use inside my digital business framework for homeschool moms. And it's built for moms who only have a small pocket of time. It doesn't have to look like a classroom. Working from home doesn't have to look like a hustle culture. You can build a life where your kids are educated, your home is peaceful, and your business supports your family. If you want my weekly checklist, my work from home schedule, or to see how I make an income online without constant selling, the link is in my description. It is the Selling with Confidence SWC 2.0, and you will love this program. It is a course that teaches you 24 different streams of income. So you get to go through the modules and pick and choose what works for you best. For me, it was affiliate marketing. I can be face forward and talk to people. They have ways to make money online faceless, which is amazing, especially as a homeschool mom. And that is one of the things that when I started this channel, I wanted to make sure that I was not over exposing my children. And so this opportunity is definitely helping me make sure that I'm not overexposing my children, but I do want you guys to be able to see that it is possible every single day. So by wrapping this up, may your coffee stay warm, your home stay peaceful, and your groceries stay affordable. See you next week, Mama.